Hello, my name is Sarah, and today I'll be sharing with you my HPE planning resource designed for Year 5 class on the focus area health benefits of physical activity. So before I specifically focus on this particular HPE focus area, I'd like to briefly describe my own philosophy towards HPE teaching in classrooms. My attitude towards teaching in general can be summed up by an inspirational quote attributed to Albert Einstein. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Obviously, every child, every student has the ability to learn, but the way in which they learn is influenced by a whole variety of factors, such as their previous knowledge, experiences, their cultural background, and the key factor emphasized in Einstein's quote is strengths, and this is also emphasized in the HPE curriculum. By having a strengths-based approach in HPE classes, the students learn to use their strengths and abilities to increase their health, well-being, movement, competence, and participation in physical activity. I also feel strongly about the importance of students actively participating in both the HPE classroom and classrooms in general. Students can learn a lot by interacting with others, participating in activities, investigating, and even critically analyzing information. I believe that this is how students will effectively learn in HPE classroom, where they will develop their health literacy, have the opportunity to research and critically assess health-related information. And they'll also have the opportunity to participate in a variety of movement activities and develop different movement skills. And all these help the students to learn how to make healthy, safe, and active choices, both in the present and in the future, which is the major aim of the HPE curriculum area. Now, by looking at this mind map, which is based around the focus area, health benefits of physical activity, you can see that this focus area can be linked to various learning areas, general capabilities, and the cross-curriculum priority of sustainability. We'll first look at how this focus area can be linked to other learning areas. Interdisciplinary learning is important as it helps not only the students to understand the relevance of certain concepts or ideas in the HPE learning area, but it also helps them, provides them with a holistic understanding of these concepts and ideas. So HPE can be linked to English when the students are learning HPE related vocabulary, when they're composing or understanding texts and using language to communicate with others and express ideas. HPE can be, this focus area can be related to science, and they could conduct activities or investigations on this topic. Humanities, by researching physical activity participating by other generations. Mathematics with the use of diagrams, graphs, tables, and they can also recognize patterns in certain movement sequences when you're doing practical work. And lastly, the arts. They could look at the benefits of dancing as a physical movement, or using posters or drawings to communicate information. This focus area can be linked to the following general capabilities. So personal and social capability. So they'll have the opportunity to work independently and as groups. In groups, they'll learn skills such as communication, negotiation, teamwork, and leadership, which it says right there. And they'll also personally, they'll see how it relates to their own lives and how they can use this information about the benefits of physical activity in their own lives to live a healthy lifestyle. The next one is intercultural understanding, which they could look at how other cultures participate in physical activity. ICT capability. They could use different technology to gather information, or even present information. And lastly, critical and creative thinking, to generate solutions to different movement challenges, or to critically assess the information that they are researching. And so the last element that I'll focus on is sustainability, which is a cross-curricular priority. So this focus area allows students to be aware of the various types of benefits of physical movement and the importance of physical activity in maintaining and sustaining a healthy lifestyle. So now we'll look at the lesson plan I developed. So this, as I said before, this lesson is designed for a Year 5 class. And the lesson I designed is an introductory lesson, so it is the first of many lessons in a unit. The lesson aim is to increase student awareness of physical, social, emotional, and cognitive benefits of different types of physical activity in their everyday lives. So those are the 4 main types of health benefits of physical activity. And these are the content descriptions, which you will look at later while we're describing the lesson body. So the lesson introduction, I've began the lesson by suggesting that the teacher sits the class on the floor, draws a mind map on the board that it looks exactly like this, with the subheading, so the main heading in the middle, health benefits of physical education. And then 4 subheadings, which is social, cognitive, emotional, and physical. And these are the 4 different types of health benefits of physical activity. Sorry, I was meant to say physical activity, not education. The teacher will use this mind map to sort of aid the discussion, which will be on discussing different types of physical activities that physical activities that the students participate in, which could be their weekend sport or just even walking to the bus stop. And then the teacher will use this mind map to fill in different benefits of these certain types of physical movements that the students will identify. So after 10 minutes, the main activity will be a rotation activity, which has 3 activities in it, which go for 10 minutes each. So the teacher will need to divide the class into 3 groups and explain that they'll rotate when the whistle is blown by one of the teachers. It is recommended that one teacher supervise each group and explain the activity of each group. Otherwise, it might be a bit of chaos. So the first rotation activity is one in which the students learn that you don't need equipment like sports equipment, gym equipment, to participate in physical activity. So the teacher will read a list of exercises, and I've got star jumps, sit-ups, push-ups, and even planking. And they can do 10, it's really up to the teacher, but that's just a suggestion. And this allows the students to perform a variety of movement sequences. The second rotation activity is a challenge, like a problem-solving challenge, which they will need to use problem-solving skills. And they need to invent physical movements or exercises using everyday household objects, such as chairs, brooms, plastic plates, juice bottles. It is encouraged that the students work together as a team to create these movements. And I also thought it would be good to end that activity with a group discussion on about the movements they invented and the benefits of these different types of movements. So building muscles in your arms and increasing flexibility. And then the third rotation activity is the fly game, which I used to play as a kid. It's a little tricky to explain, but there's a sort of diagram there on the side, if you can see those. So those are sticks are lining up, and the students, one at a time, must take one step in between each stick. And then when they reach the end, they do take a big leap, and they choose one of the sticks and place that stick where they jumped. And then the next student will have to do the following. And so it gets trickier and trickier because the spaces get bigger and bigger. So if they do take more than one step or they touch a stick, and then they're eliminated from the game. With this activity, it is important to explain and demonstrate at the same time because it might be a little tricky to understand without a demonstration. Recommended that you do split them up into smaller groups, otherwise it will be unfair for the last ones in the line because it will be trickier for them. And it is definitely recommended that eliminated students don't feel left out and that you can encourage them to cheer the other students and be a part of the activity. For a conclusion, I thought it'd be best to go back to the classroom, have 10 minutes of discussion of what they learnt in these activities and identifying some of the benefits, the 4 different types of benefits of these different activities, physical activities. So, and to aid this discussion, I thought it would be good for the teacher to draw a table exactly like this on the whiteboard and fill it out as they discuss and talk about each activity. So just quickly, I won't go through all of this information, but I'll quickly discuss each one, each resource I've talked about, I've identified. So I found 5 different resources. The first one's a video called Are You Active Enough? And it was released by Nestle Healthy Active Kids, which is a great site if you have the chance to check it out. And in this video, there was professional athletes talking about why physical activity is important and why you should do it every day. So this is a very inspirational video. The next one I found it's called Back to the Future. And it's linked to the cross-curriculum priority of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders histories and cultures, because it's asking the students to use natural resources such as rock sticks and create physical activities and a game only using these resources, which the Indigenous Australians would have done. The next is active homework sheets, which is a series of sheets with like sports equipment such as vortexes, skipping ropes, hula hoops, and it suggests ideas for activities that students can do with these equipment. So that was really good. The next one is just a lesson plan about physical activity and the health movement, which was really good, and I encourage you to check it out. And the next one is the video of exercise in the brain, which is a short video just explaining the cognitive benefits of physical activity. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I hope you have my presentation gave you some ideas to if you want to use this as a lesson plan. And so thank you. Bye.